So welcome friends, clients, coaches, and Mythbusters enthusiasts. Tonight we have a special Monday group call for you. This is episode 1 of Team Iron and Lace's Health and Fitness Mythbusters. So this is where we are going to take 3 current health and fitness trends and break them down for you so that you know what is worth your time and effort and what isn't. So for today's fitness trends that are going to be on trial, we have becoming a hybrid athlete, our sumo deadlifts cheating, and 75 hard. So without further ado, I give you the Mythbusters theme song. Anyways, okay, so we have theme songs. It's so good. It's such a good theme. They went so hard. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first up, we have becoming a hybrid athlete. So a quick overview for hybrid training. Or being a hybrid athlete. The goal of hybrid training is to build and maintain muscle and improve and maintain your cardiovascular performance simultaneously. So in theory, you can do any workout, whether it's strength training or CrossFit or a half marathon or really anything. So let's break this one down. I have a little list of like pros and cons, Shalise, but you want me to just start going through those?
Yeah. Then I'll follow up with, my stuff.
Sounds good. So some pros for hybrid training or becoming a hybrid athlete. Long-term health is probably the number one. There are significant benefits of both strength training and cardiovascular health. So for strength training, there's muscle mass and bone density and injury prevention. And for cardio, I think like one of the statistics that most people talk about is like an over 20% reduction of all-cause mortality. Like that's massive. It's huge, huge, huge. So lifting or combining strength training with cardio is better than just doing one of them alone. So a hybrid training, that's kind of one of the main goals. So it does that really, really well. The next pro that I have is a variety in your workouts. I think that a lot of people get tired of doing the same workout all the time, unfortunately. And so with hybrid training, you kind of have permission to switch it up. If you want to do more of like a cardio focus on a certain day, or if you want to be able to jump between like a group class or just doing your own training either at home or in the gym, this is a really good training method to do that with, just because you always have some kind of goal that you can be working toward. There's a lot of numbers that you can track to look at your progress. So that is actually one of the other pros, just having a lot of different variables to show your progress instead of fixating on one variable. So with a lot of like health and fitness trends, people are going to be focusing on one thing, whether it's like your diet and it's a certain like in some sort of elimination diet where it says like, okay, well, you can only have these foods or you can't have any of these things. That is like one thing you could focus on. Then for things like powerlifting, the numbers you're focusing on are your PRs and your lifts. With something like bodybuilding, it might be like checking off all of the boxes because you have to do like 18 different things every single day. It's like, okay, did I get my gallon of water and hit my macros and do my cardio and my posing and my vacuums? So that one's more of like a checklist. What are some other variables? Obviously the scale, if the goal is like fat loss. So it gives you, being participating in hybrid training gives you like, okay, you can look at your mile or your 5K time. You can pay attention to your body composition and get like body scans regularly to look at how that's improving. You can also track your diet and then or track your food and look at the scale. So you can do a lot of different things with hybrid training. You're not just limited to one. Oh, the social component. I think that a lot of hybrid athletes, there's a really big social component to a lot of the training. So whether that's like running with a group or training with a group, things like CrossFit and High Rocks, where they have that kind of like group train mentality and it's like group workouts, that can be really good for people, just accountability, and making it more than just a workout. When you go, you're actually like getting that social enrichment. And the last one I have is that it transfers very well to other activities that do enrich your lifestyle. So things like hiking, backpacking, sports, other just activities that you might want to do outdoors, even things like if your friends want to go to Top Golf on a weekend, like you're not gonna pull something. Or if you're like, you know, if you happen to like go to a concert and you're like dancing on your feet for a couple hours, like you're not winded. So there's a lot of different like applications to where kind of ties in with the multiple variables I was talking about earlier that you can see in your life in many different areas the benefits of this training if it's something that you are doing intentionally and with a good program. So those are all my pros.
And I mean, even in bodybuilding, so everyone's like, "Oh, I don't want to do cardio because it's gonna mess up my gains. I'm not gonna gain any muscle." And if I'm doing cardio, yeah, you are. You're gonna be fine. It transfers over. It actually makes your lifts easier, not easier, but if you have good cardio health, your squats, deadlifts, those big compound movements are going to be a hell of a lot easier cardiovascularly than they would if you weren't doing that. So you're not going to be, like, obviously we want the muscle fatigue, but it's not going to be the cardio fatigue that you're feeling before the muscle fatigue hits. So it does transfer over to that, where it does help those other lifts be challenging where they're supposed to be challenging to the muscle and not to your cardiovascular system. So yeah, it's still, and like you said, like the social aspect of it too. It's kind of funny. I was just talking to my coach a couple weeks ago. I've had the same program for at least a year now. Like seriously, the same exact thing, day after week for a year now. And I finally go, can I have something in my program that makes me feel like an athlete? Because I just feel like I'm just going in and lifting weights. I'm not doing anything that makes me feel athletic. And I want to feel athletic again. So it is that component of tapping into both sides of the athlete that you are, the fitness person that you are. You get both avenues of that. And especially now that it's warmer outside, do the running, do the cycling, the whatever it is, or, our outdoor people and doing the skiing, snowboarding, all of those outside things, like they're cardio-based things that are still fun to do. And you get multiple modalities in there for fitness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the outside is a really good point. Sun exposure. Ooh, so good. Okay, should we go into cons? There are less cons than pros on my list, I will say. The first one I have is that you're kind of a jack of all trades, which doesn't have to be a con, but it just means that this kind of training might not be ideal for elite competitive athletes because sport-specific training is a real thing and it's very important. So like, for example, if you don't need to care about your 5K time for your sport, you probably will still do cardio at that elite level, but it's not going to be prioritized the same way. With a hybrid training approach, it's typically very 50-50 on strength training and cardio, and maybe even specific types of cardio, like if you are doing something like High Rocks. So Jack of all trades does not have to be a bad thing, but it may limit you if you're looking to like reach this upper echelon of a certain activity. Next is a risk of overtraining. This may not be a problem for everybody, but I think that the people who tend to gravitate toward hybrid training are people who tend to overdo it. They like really intense exercise. They love pushing themselves. And so if you are not programming in or scheduling in proper recovery and managing the intensity of both your cardio and your strength sessions, you could risk overtraining, which might lead to either injury or I wouldn't say burnout because I think most people, they love it. That's why they're there. But maybe like stunting your progress in a certain way to where you can't recover. Like if you can't recover after your strength training sessions, you are not going to be able to continue pushing long term. And if you're just breaking your body down during your cardio sessions, you might start getting like joint pains and things like that that you have to address. So recovery is super important, especially if you're going to be focusing on multiple areas of your health at one time.
And you can't go balls to the wall on both of them. I mean, as far as like if you're trying to be this, elite lifter, you can't be an elite lifter and an elite endurance athlete both. Like you have to find a happy medium for both, because if you can't be a bodybuilder and go run marathons. Now there's some that do that, but not, I mean, or like an endurance or a cyclist, excuse me, another endurance athlete. I mean, all of that is weight dependent too. So you don't want this to be this huge, massive bodybuilder with, wind resistance and all this weight that you're carrying around, trying to go as fast as you possibly can. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Wind resistance.
Yeah.
I want to be so jacked that even the wind is like, yo, yeah. You're in my way. Yeah. The last one I have on here in the cons is that, and this one is so important. So if this is something like, if you're hearing all of this and you're like, you know what, maybe I do want to try this out, please, please, please listen to this one. If you don't already have a decent handle on your diet, your nutrition, you will feel the pain. Like you need to be fueling your body, eating food. You need to fuel your body for all these workouts you're going to be doing, and make sure that you're eating the right things so that you can recover after your workouts. Like this is no joke. So as far as like hybrid training goes, likely you'll be increasing your training frequency and intensity. Like if you're going from, and I don't say this to put anybody down, but if you're going from something like Pilates, nothing wrong with Pilates, but if you're going from something like Pilates and switching to a hybrid training model, you are probably going to have a higher demand for food in every single way, macro and micronutrients. So just keep that in mind, that like if you're doing this as like a way to improve your health and potentially change your body composition, food matters. This is not like some magic formula that's just going to let you eat I don't know, like 1,200 calories maybe, and then be able to do the like 5 workouts a week and then somehow look and feel better. Like you'll probably feel worse if you're not eating well. That's all I have to say about that.
Not only feel worse, but go back to what you said about recovery. You're not going to recover. You can't recover. So yeah.
Yeah. So is hybrid training worth your time and effort? This idea of becoming a hybrid athlete? My vote is yes. I think that this is a good trend for the vast majority of humans that will improve your health and probably your body composition and maybe even your enjoyment when it comes to movement and fitness.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's good to have just that variety. You know, you get the cardiovascular health, you get the lifting side of things, and that's why I tell people all the time, like, yeah, absolutely, go do your thing. Like, you don't have to be one or the other unless you want to be elite in one or the other. But yeah, absolutely, it's so beneficial in so many ways.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we got one thumbs up so far. Insert Mythbusters theme here. Okay. Fitness trend. Fitness trend number 2 is about sumo versus conventional deadlifts. I love this one so much. We have the question, are sumo deadlifts cheating? So sumo deadlifts are a deadlift form where you have your feet well outside of shoulder width and you reach down to grab the bar with your arms inside of your knees. So your knees are pointing out, legs are far apart, arms are in between. A conventional deadlift has your feet close together, probably around hip width apart, and you are grabbing the bar with your arms outside of your knees. So it's a much tighter stance. The most common reason that I hear people use for why they consider sumo deadlifts cheating is because there's a smaller range of motion for the bar during sumo deadlifts than a conventional deadlift. So if you think about it, like if you are this tall when your feet are together, that's how far, like the bar has to move from here to here for your conventional deadlift. If you're this tall, but your legs are spread apart, you actually become this tall. So the distance that the bar has to travel is smaller for sumo than it would be for conventional. That was kind of a weak visual, but you get what I'm saying. So my take on that is that the actual load that's being lifted by your body, whether your feet are out here or in here, is the same. It's just which muscles are doing the work of moving that weight. You want to talk more about that, Shalise?
Yeah. So, like you had mentioned, which muscles are being used. So if in more conventional, or well, let's go sumo. In sumo, you're going to recruit your adductors a lot more in that wide stance position. So you'll get your adductors, and obviously glutes will be involved, quads will be little bit involved, but in that wider stance, it's a lot of adductor. In conventional, you're going to get your erectors, and then hamstrings and glutes obviously going to be involved. I mean, it's a deadlift, everything's involved, but like main ones being recruited are those. I always go back to, so there used to be somebody here locally actually, and she was like maybe 4'11", maybe, tiny little thing. And she used to lift a shit ton of weight, but she also did it in sumo. So in sumo, and I mean, literally she lifted the bar up maybe 4 inches off the floor when she did it. And yes, granted, it was a shit ton of weight still, but everyone would be like, okay, so do conventional dead and see, like, let's see how far you can really get it up if you can do, or not in sumo and do a regular conventional deadlift. So she used to, like, that was like the whole, like, oh, you're because you're 4'11" and you're pulling it barely off the floor. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of your anatomy, what's best for your anatomy and what works for your anatomy. Long limbs, you're going to, long arms, you're going to be able to deadlift conventionally very well. And I mean, that's just how it works. Like the short torso, long arms, you're going to, like, that deadlift's going to be a good one for you. Long-legged people, sumo is going to be probably a little bit better than you, or for you. So it really just depends on your anatomy and what works best. As far as which one's better or worse, or it's dependent on you and what your body shape is and your anatomy. There is no better or worse. Again, people, the powerlifting community might call you out on sumos, but the powerlifting community also allows sumos. So is it cheating? No, because they allow it. So yeah, I mean, it's all about your anatomy and what works best for you. So if you're, trying to powerlift and you're doing it in a meet, do what works best for you. So there you go. Otherwise, it's have fun with it. I have clients all the time. If I need them to build their adductors, we're going to be doing a sumo deadlift or sumo stance in some way, shape, or form if we want to build those adductors. So, like they have a place, time and place for everybody, depending on what you're doing and what you want to work.
100%. I agree. There's actually a pretty cool video. Like if anybody wanted to hear more of discussion about this, Jeff Nippert actually made a video about this where he shows some really cool data about the deadlift variation in competitive powerlifters. And the data that he pulled up suggested that sumo might be better for lighter lifters. So like the 411 girl that you were mentioning. And that conventional might be better for larger lifters. So he was looking at like weight class, but he also mentioned that it could have been related just to the height of the individual. So like shorter people usually would have like, I don't know, maybe shorter legs, and if you're a little bit longer, taller, bigger, conventional would be better. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you like sumo, lift sumo. If you like conventional and it feels more natural that way, then lift conventional. And if you want to try a hybrid of the two, that's what I did during deadlifts for Christmas at American Iron. Because I do not have a great sumo form and I wasn't going to be able to deadlift the weight we were doing. Like my lower back would have failed way before the rest of my body trying to do all those deadlifts. Have you done deadlifts before Christmas, Shalise?
Yep, sure did.
What
The year before you did.
Oh, okay. What was the weight that you guys were lifting? Because did you have Ken on your team?
We didn't have Ken on our team. We were doing 235.
Oh my gosh. That is so brutal.
Yeah, it was, I mean, at that time I was really strong in the deadlift, so it wasn't too bad because that was usually my warm up. But yeah, it wasn't.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah, Shauna and Gina were pissed. They're like, we are not having Ken on our team next year. Then we never did.
Yeah.
And Shauna, I think messed up her back big time that weekend. Like she was down for a good week and a half or two.
Dang. Yeah. It's a lot of deadlifts. It's a lot of fatigue there. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is that, like, in my mind, sumo versus conventional is similar to like having a narrow versus a wider stance in a squat. You don't see people arguing about like, oh, your legs aren't close enough together in a squat, or like, you know what I mean? Like in a powerlifting competition, for example.
Yeah.
So if you allow someone to squat and have their hips open and knees like peel out, basically, then why not with a deadlift too? So
yeah, and if you don't have a strong posterior chain, then you're going to want to do sumos. So it just depends on your leverages, your body, your what you have working for you, and what you have working against you, and which one's going to be better for you.
Yeah. So from a competition point of view, do the one that you are better at. And then from a training point of view, you might want to do the one that you're not as good at.
Right.
So that you can build up those weak areas and just get better at both movements. Like switch off. If you have one training cycle that does a conventional deadlift, switch it up and do sumo the next time. So
I will tell you this, and I don't know, I probably a lot of people won't agree with me. There's not that I won't ever, but it's not very often that I will put a conventional deadlift in a bodybuilding program. Like if I have a competitor, I'll do RDLs and straight legged deads, every other deadlift variation. It's very, 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 limited if I ever put conventional in there.
mm-hmm. Is that just because it's a very taxing lift, whether it's both mentally and physically for the gains that you're going to get?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for the ROI on it, for sure. Yeah. Because you get so much more from, an RDL or straight legged dead, for targeting certain areas that we need to develop. So that, and I don't know, it's not something I technically think we need to work on. If they were competing in a meet, then yeah, but yeah, otherwise I think every other deadlift variation is just, if we're at a bodybuilding standpoint for bodybuilding competitors, not that they should never do it. I'm not saying that. I just, very rarely is it ever programmed, because we're working on a hypertrophy of certain parts and strengths. And I think that's more a strength exercise than it is a hypertrophy exercise.
Totally. Yeah. So is sumo cheating? My vote? No.
No. Nope.
No, it is not. It's no different than any other form adjustment for any other lift. So,
Our lifters are going to be honest all day about that one.
good. Get them
Yeah.
on here. Bring it on. SBD.
Yeah.
Okay. Mythbusters theme song. I need to learn it more than just the first few seconds. Okay, our last fitness trend for today is 75 hard. And I'm so excited to talk about this one because since its creation in 2019, I feel like each year, at least like 5 people in my circle have attempted it. Keyword attempted. So a little bit of background on 75 hard. I'm sure probably all of you have heard of it, but just so that we are covering all of our bases here. 75 hard was created by Andy Frisella. I think that's how you say his last name. He's also the CEO of First Form, and so a very successful entrepreneur with multiple companies. If you go to his website, it says in the 75 hard disclaimer, this is word for word, this is not a fitness challenge. It's a mental toughness challenge. So already, if you're going into this, you should know that the goal is not to maximize your health or your fitness. It's to make you tougher and more disciplined. So I have the list of tasks that you need to complete in order to do 75 hard. And so we'll go through them, and keep in mind that if you fail to do any of these items during your 75-day commitment, you must start over at day 1. So let's say it's like day 35 and you can't do something, day 1. You just start right back over. So I think that's probably why a lot of the people that I've seen, they only attempt it, and they may even attempt it for longer than 75 days, but they don't get to the 75-day mark. So let's go through these one by one. So this is what is like in his guide. The critical tasks of 75 hard are designed to push you to your limits and develop mental toughness. Number 1, follow a diet. Stick to a diet of your choice with 0 deviations. No cheat meals or alcohol allowed. Schlace.
Oh, are we gonna go? Oh, we're gonna go individually.
Yeah, let's chat about it.
Fantastic. Okay, I was taking notes because I'm like, make sure to talk about this. Make sure to talk about this.
No, we're ripping this thing apart.
Okay.
It's Mythbusters.
Yeah. That is so unsustainable for 75 days. Like that's a lot to not break from anything. Yeah, that's especially for here's my argument for this too, because a lot of people are just general population just trying to find something and have no habits built around anything yet at all, period. And they jump into something like this. It's not realistic. And it's not something, no cheat meals, nothing at all. I mean, there's reasons why free meals and all of those things exist in meal plans or all those things. There's too many events and too many things that you're going to miss out on if you commit to that for 75 straight days. And this is where I see like a lot of my clients that I've worked with in the past, they're like, yeah, I follow pretty much everything except that one. I'm like, okay, so you're not really following the thing, right? You're not doing the 75 hard, which is fine. And that's why I think most people are with 75 hard. They don't follow it like that because of that one right there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting that you get to choose the diet that you're doing. It because it is, like I said, it's not a health or fitness challenge. It's a mental toughness. So it's just saying, I said I was going to do this thing, so I'm going to do it. So what's interesting to me is that he kind of like contradicts himself. He says, stick to a diet of your choice with zero deviations. But then he says on top of that, well, you can't have any cheat meals or alcohol involved. What if the diet you choose to stick to is something sustainable that has 2 free meals a week? Is that still 75 hard? Maybe. You're not cheating if you're not going outside of your plan.
It's a great point.
So maybe just if you want to really dive in and do this, get a sustainable diet plan. Team Iron and Lace coaches can help with that. Schedule a free consultation. Shameless plug. But yeah, I think that is very interesting. What on first read, you think, well, a cheat meal, I can't have any cheat meals. But what if your diet includes like, oh, my 5-year-old baked cookies for the first time with her dad, and I come home from work and you tell me I can't eat one? Screw you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Moving on to number 2. This one freaks me out. Seriously. Complete 2 45-minute workouts every day. One must be done outdoors, regardless of the weather. The other one can be done outdoors, but you can do it indoors too.
I don't understand. I don't understand why there's that, what's the word I'm looking for? Like that strictness to it. Like
Yeah.
it has to be done outdoors. Like I get walking, I get that. Why does it have to be 45 minutes? Why can't it be, go outdoors and do something outside for the day, period. No time limit to it. Just go do something outside. Okay, I can do that. That's sustainable. I'm not going to go outside for 45 minutes when it's a blizzard outside. Yeah, and twice a day, I don't know. I guess I get that. I can see that. I guess I don't have a big issue with that because you could walk twice, walk in the morning and go lift in the afternoons, whatever. Just the whole, it has to be outside for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, one benefit of that would be if you were to do this for a full year, for example, you'd have probably like 300 hours of outside time, which is a lot more than a lot of people. And like, so I like the idea, but once again, it is the strictness, but that's the whole point of it. So I can't even hate because he's very upfront about it. To me, it's like an hour and a half every single day. That's a big chunk of time where like I'll give people like my clients workouts and it's not an hour and a half every single day. That's math. How long is that per week? 1.5 times 7. 10.5 hours of your week. That's like a part-time job.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Yeah, that's a lot of time to be able to dedicate. And then you add on I won't get ahead of myself, but we'll talk about that later. So big time investment there. It's kind of cool because, he talks about like taking your kids with you on the outside one or just spending time outside. But like people live in places where it is regularly like 0 degrees for a number of months of the year. So only do 75 hard in summer is basically
right. I mean, that's my very first question when I talk to clients is, when I'm building this plan for you, what can you realistically do with the current schedule you have right now? So if that's 3 days, cool. I'll make it work within 3 days. If it's whatever, and to me, like that twice a day, every single day, no matter what, like you said, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. I love the weather part because I'm all about like,
Don't make it excuse.
Yeah, no excuses and like toughening yourself to the elements. There's a really funny video. I forget what it is, but it's somebody, maybe it was from Survivor, but it was somebody like walking on rocks. And they're like, oh, the frailty of modern man. Like you can't even walk on top of rocks barefoot. Just hurts too bad. So I'm all for that. But yeah, the hour and a half of exercise, no matter what, every single day. It's a lot. It's a lot to commit to. Okay. Number 3, drink a gallon of water. Drink 1 gallon of plain water every single day. And he specifically says that you cannot add any sort of like flavoring to it.
He does specifically say that, huh? Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Has to be plain water because you ain't no softy. You got to drink plain water like our ancestors. This one, like, I think that it means well, and this is probably the least harmful one of all of them. So,
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, drink water.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that one.
Yeah, most people don't drink enough water. So maybe if you do start 75 hard, start it beforehand so you don't just go from like 24 ounces a day to a gallon. You're not gonna feel or look very good.
Spending a lot of time on the toilet.
Yeah. Okay, number 4, read 10 pages. Read 10 pages of a nonfiction book to expand your mind and knowledge base. The book should be focused on developing your skill set, mindset, or perspective. So basically, no fiction or fun books. You just have to read something that's going to like toughen you up or
What was
address
that
your
time?
mindset, self-help. It's just 10 pages.
Oh, 10 pages. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we say like 15 minutes, I guess.
I see nothing wrong with that one.
Yeah.
That one's doable.
Yeah.
You can sit and scroll on your phone and look at stuff. You can read a book for 10 pages.
Yeah. Replace your toilet time on the phone with a book instead.
There you go.
Okay, and number 5 is take a progress photo. Snap a daily progress picture to visually document your transformation. Daily progress picture just to me seems like that is his like marketing gimmick to get people to do the time lapse where it goes like all the photos at once from beginning to end. But it's good to take progress photos, but like every single day. And once again, the every single day is because this is a mental thing. So it just says you commit to doing something every single day, you get in this routine, you become disciplined. Now, this is okay, and this is the last part, what he says. If you commit and execute on 75 hard with 0 compromises and 0 substitutions, you and your life will never be the same. This is where I like I lose it and I really disagree because if you say you're going to do something for 75 days and then you do it, is that really showing discipline? Like if you're doing these things every single day, you're like, okay, gotta do this thing, gotta do this thing, gotta do this thing. Is that what that is? Because then what happens on day 76?
They're done.
Like 76 0.
Yeah.
What did you learn? That when you sign up to do more than is realistic for you, it really sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's all or nothing. So it kind of sets a lot of people up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's not good either, because then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I have to start over. Oh, I didn't do all this today. And it's that like, yeah.
Yeah. How many day ones of 75 hard do you have to have before you are like done?
Yeah.
He has a podcast where he explains like a lot of why he came up with this and how and so there is one moment where I do like where his head's at because he talks about how the majority of fitness plans that people will pay for don't address the root cause of their problems, which he believes to be like this lack of mental toughness or discipline. So his thing is, instead of paying to learn how to do something, he's kind of like challenging you to do things for free that you already know how to do, and then you just commit to doing them no matter what. Which at the end of the day, like as coaches, we know sometimes the hard thing is, you give somebody a plan, and then there's this gap of the plan and then the execution. It's like, how do we fill that gap? So he's suggesting that 75 hard is how you fill that gap. Now, I think it's a fine way for somebody to learn like what they're capable of, and like that they can do hard things, and maybe build a little bit of confidence, just because they said like, I'm going to do this thing, and then they do it. But I honestly don't see it leaving the majority of humans that do it in a good spot at the end of it, mentally or physically. And we see this in the bodybuilding community too, with new competitors. You like dive full into a prep. This is the first time that you've really like tracked your food and like done cardio, and you're in the gym twice a day. It's very much similar to 75 hard. You're drinking a gallon of water every day. So you're doing all these things, and you're probably like watching posing videos, which we can compare to the reading 10 pages a day. So 75 hard is just 11 weeks of a bodybuilding prep, kind of. And you see a lot of new competitors, like after prep, they're kind of lost, because that goal and that number or whatever, like you're on day 67, your motivation is going to be through the roof of like, I'm almost done. But it is, what happens after day 75? What happens the day after the show? Where do you go from there? Like, what do you do every single day? Because you've completely hijacked your previous routine to be this new thing that you may not even like.
Yeah. That's why it's important to just to have just like your non-negotiable habits already set in place, which we've talked about so many times on other whatever lives or everything else, is that's what coaches are for, is to help you get those daily habits down, and not beat yourself up, and give yourself grace if this day didn't work, and that's okay. Like, it's fine. It's not a start over. It's like, no, we move on. Like, it's okay, let's move on. It's the consistency over time, not within this time period at all, just this time period.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Any final comments on 75 hard?
Those are the only rules?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was way more than that.
That's what was on there may be like extra ones that you can do. He has like a guide that you can buy for $34.99. I don't know what's in that one, where he gives you, I think, more like tasks and stuff like that, but this is the free version. He says those are your 5 critical tasks.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, I just like with that, I think kind of like what I said before, definitely not a good place to start for somebody who has no start with anything anywhere already. Like, have some daily habits already set in place, get some non-negotiables, get some like health related, exercise related, food related, nutrition related stuff down first before you just jump into something like this, because it's going to be something, like I said, that starting over, that's the exact opposite mentality we want to have with people. You're not starting over. It's not, it's like, you're going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Just keep on going. Things progress will happen no matter what. So like that, I don't know, that all or nothing kind of, that part kind of bothers me about it. And yeah, I just don't, like I said from the very beginning, it's just not sustainable. And I get it's 75 days of something, and that's his whole goal. Yeah, not if you're a beginner, not if you're a parent, because life is going to life you when you're a parent. So yeah, probably not something very smart for parents to start.
Yeah. All right. So 75 hard, is it beneficial or detrimental? I would vote that it is more likely detrimental than beneficial for the majority of people.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's all we have. Those were our 3 topics. We had 2 thumbs up. So thumbs up hybrid training. Thumbs up, sumo deadlifts. Thumbs down, 75 hard. Okay.
Very
So
interesting.
what?
These are very interesting topics.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us on Team Iron and Lace's Health and Fitness Mythbusters episode 1. If you have any trends you want us to review, send them our way. My name is Taylor. You can find me on Instagram at TaylorCE, TaylorCE. Joyce?
And then you can find me at Shalace _ IFBB Pro, and Shalace is SHELACE _ IFBB PRO. And then we also have our team page, which is Team Iron and Lace, and it's team _ iron _ lace.
We like underscores.
There was one, it was already taken, so I couldn't use it.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining. And next week we have, I'm excited about this one. We'll post a couple teaser posts for this one because it's really good. Next week's topic is called More Than Macros, and it's the value of coaching that isn't shown in transformation photos. So we're going to be talking about some of like our client stories, some of the things that we do that clients might not see, and just the life of a coach.
Yeah, have you seen, I know we're ending this, but have you seen a lot of the reels going around right now of here I am as a bodybuilding coach, but this is what I really do, and it goes into like therapist, other things. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yep. I'm excited. So that'll be next week. Right on. Talk to you guys soon. Have a lovely Monday.
Have a great St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy. Be safe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bye. You can stop the recording. Just go back to manage recording. Okay, I cut out the end anyways.
There we go.